All right, hope everyone's doing well today. We got a video talking about the current state of the CS2 market, where I think it's heading the next little while, and the big news with the overall traditional markets. Let's basically hop right into this. So obviously, the stock market has took a big dip. Basically, we erased about a year gains within 3 days. So we've had some of the worst pullbacks ever in the traditional stock markets, which let a lot of people ask the question, are we going to see the same for CSGO skins or CS2 skins? Because obviously these are alternative investments, they're high risk, and generally when shit hits the fan, people will pull out money where it's higher risk and they don't want to be holding it to see what happens. So obviously the traditional markets took a big slap, the SPY's down big time. I'm big into gold, so we're going to talk about gold a little bit. But first off, let's go actually look at what we want to talk about, the CS2 markets. And we're going to take a look at the index quickly. Obviously, we had that all-time high that we broke. We just almost hit $4.5 billion market cap on our index here. And we're slowly pulling back a little bit. Now, there's a few reasons why this is pulling back. Obviously, you had a new operation, or not a new operation, you had a new Armory update come out. You had a new case come out. You had the fever case. So a lot of people want to typically sell stuff and maybe invest into the new items just to have it stay fresh, whatever the case might be. So that could be one of the reasons why it's pulling back. But you'd also think that with the overall global economy, the global tariffs, the Trump shit, you think, oh, the CSGO skins would drop off harder. But obviously, they're holding up pretty strong. They're pretty resilient, as you can see. And we can even go look here at some of our top assets. So these are some of your top knives in the game, top tier play skins and whatnot. And you can see they're all with this last 30 days, by the way, this little chart here, I'll make it bigger for you guys. We're all still trending much higher on some of these higher tier skins. High mid-range skins are even going up. You have seen some like low to medium tier skins going down, like in that $200 to $300 region. I know all the gallery case items have seen a pretty big pullback. I'm also holding the M4 fades, which I've been hit by that a little bit, but I'm not too worried. I like these skins. I bought them for a reason. But you can see that the overall skins economy is holding up pretty well, and I'm quite surprised. I want to hear your thoughts on this if you're surprised as well. It looks like some of these gloves kind of took a bit of a dip, which some things are going to do better than others. Whatever has demand is typically going to stay stronger, but we can't predict all this stuff. And then if you go look at some of our cases here, yeah, even the cases have been pretty resilient. You still see a lot of pumps on these. Well, obviously the discontinued have been doing really well. You have some of your older ones, your Phoenix, holding up very strong. What else you got here? Weapon case holding up very strong. You have the Gamma 2 case still trending up despite all this turmoil in the market. So really nice to see how well the skins economy is holding up. Like, they are high risk investments, and you would think that we'd see a bigger pullback. Now, I'm not going to say this is permanently going to stay this way. We could see a bigger dip in our markets. If we go back down the SPY, we go down another like 10-15%, then maybe people go to a little panic and they might want to sell some of their CS2 skins because they don't want to get fucked over. People got rent to pay and stuff like that. You want to live your life, but you obviously have 4 big things you want to look at when you're looking at CSGO skins. What you want to buy, obviously you want to purchase the skins you like, the knives you like, and the cases that you're bullish on. But when it comes to what makes these skins go up, you want to make sure that you have an increasing player count. So if we go here, you can see that the CS2 player count is on a little bit of a dip here. Obviously, you have your fluctuations because we have a lot of bots in our pop player base, so you can't always hold on to that. But I think that going to the spring and summer, we will see a little bit of a dip on the player base anyway because people are out doing stuff and whatnot. But I do think that the CS2 market is really surprising people. Like, if you look at the all-time highs here, we're only down roughly 3%. On our index. So it's really interesting to see how well this market's been holding up. I'm quite surprised myself, but I would say to people that if you're looking to make an investment, I would maybe hold on to your stuff a little bit longer, or hold on to your money a little bit longer, and maybe wait a couple more weeks to see how the global economy plays out. I don't think we're out of the woods just yet, and you may have another little bit of a pullback even in our CS2 market to pick up, whether it's cases, gloves or knives, whatever you're kind of looking at. But it's really interesting to see. I'm very impressed. I know we're in a bull run for the CS2 market, and I'm really happy to see that people aren't panic selling. If anything, they're sort of just trending with the emotions, and they're just kind of buying. And I don't think anyone's like panic selling. You can see here across the cases, especially, we are killing it. So very impressed to see that. But the other thing I want to quickly mention is how this CSGO market cap index is very similar, and not perfectly similar, obviously there's 2 different things, to the gold chart. Now, gold is one of my biggest investments outside of the the CS2 fund, but it seems like this gold chart is following a very similar pattern to the CS2 market. Now, obviously, gold is a commodity. It's a metal. People don't want to freaking, put a lot of money into CSGO skins, the very niche sort of market. But it just, I can't help but notice a similar pattern in the last 2 years between gold and the CS2 market. Maybe it's because of scarcity. Obviously, demand's a factor too. And I could even make the argument that with crypto going down significantly, that it's easier for people to move their money into the CSGO market or CS2 market cap. Sorry when I say that, guys. You know what I mean when I say CSGO or CS2. It makes much more sense to me for crypto guys to move their money into Counter-Strike versus, maybe gold. Now, obviously, people that invest in Bitcoin may already own gold. It might be diversified. Diversification is super key here. If you have a mix of everything, it's great to have a mix of everything. That's how you sort of lower your risk and stay on top of things. But I do think that with the current state of the Armory, there's a big pullback there. I think that there's a lot of potential for people to get in and buy some of these Armory skins for cheap. Now, obviously, the sentiment is completely changed. We thought the Armory was going to be discontinued, whether it's the sports and field, the overpass. We thought a lot of those were going to go, and Valve decided to keep them in there. And that's my other prediction I want to get in this video for you guys. I believe that around summertime, you're going to start to see some of those Armory collections get swapped out. All right, so let's quickly hop in a game. I'll show you a couple things here. I am actually getting ready to do a fever case opening for you guys. I'm still grinding out some more of these passes. As I said, I was gonna, reset, and I'm just grinding out these. But let's quickly talk about some of the sports and field, the graphic, and some of these original Armory collections that I would keep an eye on. So obviously, this really depends on when these get discontinued. Like I said, my prediction's been summer. Some of my predictions been pretty good, others not so much, but obviously I'm already invested in M4 Fade. I love this skin a lot. I would say it's one of my favorite, or if not one of the best M4 skins in the game right now. Obviously, some of these top tier skins, this one's here kind of low key, the Axia. A lot of people like this one. You throw some Cloud9s on there, beautiful. And a lot of people talking about some of the blues here, going for those minimal wears and whatnot. So let me know what you guys are doing there. But I think if you wait a couple more weeks on these, you may see even a lower price. And this is because people are still going for that new fever case. Everyone's grinding out their new passes. I don't know how many people are buying these new passes and grinding them out. I managed to pick up a few of them. So I think a lot of the attention is going to be on here for a while. Seems like a lot of people are pulling these print streams too. Keep an eye on these in the next couple of weeks. We're already on a big dip for these. Even the Starcade's beautiful too. Go for the top tier skins, especially if that's something you've been looking at. That's even a nice P90, or the blues if that's something you want to do, because I know a lot of people know that when this gets discontinued, there's gonna be a lower supply of these blues for trade ups and whatnot. And I think that all eyes are on obviously the new train collection and the new fever case. So give it a few more weeks. If you guys like the original Army collections, even these charms, I think you're going to see a little bit lower dip there. Even though the rest of the CS2 market is holding up very well as we've seen before, I still think that these have room to fall down because they're still newer iterations into the game. But I am really bullish on these. I think we're going to see a lot of new charms in the future too. So if we have summertime comes around, we have that Austin Major, you get new team charms. It makes sense for Valve to move out some of these. And obviously they have the new workshop system where players have been adding and making custom designs of these little charms here. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Give it a few more weeks. Sit on your hands. It doesn't hurt to sit on your hands and hold your money. I know the Be the Monsters one skin that a lot of people talked about. M4 Fade, people ask me questions about all the time. And the elementals too. We had viewers commented asking about these the other day, and I still think there is room for these elementals to come down a little bit more, but I do remain really bullish on these. These are some really nice stickers. The crafting is through the roof with these, and I think there's going to be some great upside in the future. But I don't want you guys to rush into it. If you see prices for low, it doesn't hurt to buy in a couple of these if you see them on float for cheap, or there's discounted prices because people want to buy new Armory passes, or they want to buy the new skins once they drop. And I think tomorrow or the next day you're going to see this the first few fever case items come in. You're going to see the first few train items come in onto the markets. So let the market digest this change. Follow the market. If you have any questions, just let me know below. I'm following a little bit as well. I just don't know what's going to go on because there's so much going on in the global economy. There's so many updates coming in the future. There's so many things planned with the Austin Major and other tournaments in the future. A lot of things to be positive about. Make sure the player base continues to go up. It never hurts to take profits if you want to sell some of the skins you're not so fond of and maybe move that into new stuff. But let me know what you guys are doing. I know this is a bit of a all over the place video. I just want to give my thoughts because there's a lot going on right now. Let me know what you're picking up. Let me know if you're grinding these Armory passes or what your plans are for these original Armory collections. And like I said, we're going to do a fever case opening very soon. I just want to get at least like 20, 25. and I still remain very bullish on the gallery. And I'll go through quick inventory check here. I put a bunch of these capsules into some storage crates, but that's pretty much what I'm working with, guys. I just want to give an update with how I'm sort of perceiving this market and some of the changes and turmoil that's going on. And I just hope we all kill it, and I want to make more videos. I'm sorry I've been sort of out of the loop a little bit. I've been really sick. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I really appreciate you guys supporting me, and I hope we continue to see a positive outlook in this market. And I think there's a lot of upside coming, so stay patient. If you have any questions, let me know, and rock on.